The year is 1491. Many imagine North America at this moment as an untouched, empty wilderness, but that version of history is a myth. Millions of people live here, organized into hundreds of distinct, sovereign indigenous nations. Farmers are preparing their next harvest, warriors are patrolling their borders, and elders are preserving ancient stories passed down for 1,000 years. These nations have spent centuries building their own civilizations. They are standing on the edge of a historical cliff, unaware that their world is about to be upended. This map shows the continent's reach, spanning from the Arctic and Pacific Northwest across the Great Plains to the eastern woodlands. Indigenous nations thrived, adapting architecture and survival strategies to handle everything from frozen coastlines to the arid Southwest. Because of these environmental differences, there was no single Native American way of life. Each nation developed its own government, its own language, and its own unique traditions. Prosperity here required specialized, localized knowledge, scientific and survival tactics passed down in an unbroken chain across generations. These distinct nations were connected by a web of trade routes, stretching from the Gulf of Mexico to the Great Lakes. We see the evidence in raw materials. These oxidized copper discs, featuring uniform center holes, show the results of technical metallurgy traded across half a continent. We see it in luxury goods, like this mask made of turquoise mosaics and white shell, crafted from materials that originated hundreds of miles apart. Coastal goods moved far inland. This marine conch shell features an etched line drawing of a human figure, yet it was found deep in the interior of the continent. And we see it in weaponry. This dark obsidian projectile point was flaked for precision, passing through a chain of trade long before it was lost or buried. Long before European ships arrived, North America was already an integrated economic ecosystem. Physical goods weren't the only things traveling these routes. Trade also spread artistic techniques, spiritual ceremonies, and political ideas. This constant exchange fostered different systems of power. Some regions formed diplomatic confederacies to maintain peace across vast territories. Others were governed by centralized chiefdoms, which organized the labor and resources of dense urban populations. This political web was woven from hundreds of distinct languages and a shared spiritual connection to the land itself. By 1491, these nations had built a political landscape governed by established laws, alliances, and historical memory. But across the Atlantic Ocean, Europe is changing. Intense competition is brewing between European kingdoms, driven by an economic search for new sea routes to the east. They are adopting new navigation technologies, like this brass mariner's astrolabe, making it possible to navigate the open ocean. The clock is ticking. Explorers, led by men like Christopher Columbus, are sailing west into the unknown. In 1492, two distinct, fully realized worlds collided. The collision triggered the spread of foreign disease, the expansion of European empires, and a centuries-long struggle for the continent. American history did not begin in 1492. It had been unfolding for thousands of years, and this arrival merely marked the violent end of its final peaceful horizon.